having our annual open house. It's good to see the community come out. We welcome them, and at the 10th anniversary of 9/11, we're glad to see the community out supporting public safety services. Thank you.
Nice crowd, great food.
Great,
kids are enjoying it.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Chief.
Okay, can everybody hear me out there? Okay, welcome to the 2011 Goffstown Police Department Open House. In a few minutes we're going to have a canine demonstration over here in front of the CERT tent. And we're going to give that about 5-10 minutes before we start, if everyone wants to come over and watch that. And make sure you get plenty of food. Make sure that you see all of the tents and displays that we have from all of our sister agencies out here with us. And make sure that you get a tour inside. So we're going to start the canine demonstration in about 5 minutes.
Just the boss there. So when you go over.
Okay, grab one. Touch one, and that's the one you take, okay?
Oh, I'm sorry, Bill. Right. I keep thinking Dave Shooter all the time. Thank you for coming. Thank you very much.
So you're going to brave it out and not wear the top half?
No.
All you have to do is flex.
Yeah, thanks for coming. This is going to
Take that. And it's funny, the Goffstown Police Officers in the last couple of weeks, they made a comment on their Facebook page, which they never do, to go through the grizzlies.
Think of all those questions you want to ask. I'm sure he's going to be willing to answer everything.
Good team player, Nick.
So just make sure. I'll get it back next year. Just make sure you got all. How's that burger? Is it good? It looks really good.
Want one?
You already passed the burger. You're on to the tough thing.
Yeah. Or is it bad?
Now we've got, just remember, don't get crazy over here. We got the chief's wife, okay, and a couple of captain's wives over here, so don't go too crazy over there. Everybody hear me? Good, I don't use one of those things. Okay? Alright, my name is Officer Chris Weeks from the Goffstown Police Department. With me today I've got Officer Nick Hodgson from the Hillsborough Police Department. He was nice enough to come down here and help us out with our demonstrations because we all know we're better than one, right? Absolutely. So, what we're going to do today is I'm going to show you a little bit about our police dogs, what they can do, demonstrate all of that. We're going to answer some of your questions. But before we get started, I wanted to talk to you a little bit. Does anyone know about anything special that this weekend commemorates? Yes, ma'am.
Is every kid here?
So what I think is really great is that a 7-year-old just told me about September 9/11. Or September 11th, 2001. So it's very special to us in order to pay a little remembrance to that event. So what I want to tell you a little bit is about something that's kind of close to us in the canine world is not only did almost 3,000 people lose their lives that day, including 343 firefighters, 60 police officers, but one police dog lost his life that day in the basement of Tower Number 1. His name was Canine Cirrus, and he was a bomb dog for the Port Authority. And when the first plane hit, his handler felt the call of duty, put his dog in his kennel in the basement area by their office, and ran upstairs to help. And unfortunately both Cirrus and his canine handler lost their lives that day. So we always kind of think there's so many people out there that this touches in a certain way, and it doesn't leave out of the canine world. You know, we have a very special job. We're very lucky to have our job, and it's a very small community of canine handlers in this country. You have a search and rescue group back here, CAST. I hope you all get to visit them. They do a very special job. In the weeks and months following September 11, 2001, almost 100 search and rescue dogs assisted in the recovery effort to help find people. Out of those 100 dogs, only 15 are living today. So all of those dogs gave a big price to work in that environment. A lot of them passed because of old age, but there were a significant number of canines in the search and rescue world that worked at the World Trade Center Ground Zero that came down with some very serious ailments after that due to all the toxins. What does a dog do when it's looking for something? It smells, it uses its nose. So when all the firemen and other workers there had their respirators and safety gear on, the dogs couldn't find anybody if they had that stuff on. They were sniffing constantly. They spent days and weeks there sniffing, trying to help find people. Because of that, they paid a really serious price. Well, a lot of them got very, very sick. And a lot of their lives were cut very short because of their efforts there. So, with no further ado, do you guys want to see what our dogs do? Okay. What we're going to do, I'm going to introduce you. I already told you this is Officer Nick Hodgson from Hillsborough. Well, with him, he's got canine Fanto. Fanto is a German Shepherd. He is from Hungary. That doesn't mean he wants to eat. That means he came a long way from over in Eastern Europe to come here and work with us in the United States and here in New Hampshire. He is 3 years old, and Officer Hodgson and I put our dogs through training school together. These dogs go through a basic school. It's kind of like if you're familiar with the military, there's a basic training. They go through a basic school that's 14 weeks long. That's five days a week, 8 hours a day for 14 weeks. So these dogs have to be patient, and they have to be very driven to do their job. We went through school together. Canine Fanto is a very, very proficient police working dog. How many people want to see my dog? Yay. How many people here from Goffstown? All right, well, this is your dog. If you're here from Goffstown, it's your dog, okay? He still gets to go home with me, though. So what we're going to show you to give you a little demonstration of is we have our canine police vehicles. Unlike other police vehicles, there's a lot to do with that vehicle. It's very specific to the dog. Okay? And one of the things the dog is trained to do is protect us. So if I get in trouble, I've got a partner that's going to protect me. So what if I'm away from the vehicle and get in trouble? Can I run back and get him? No. So what we've got is, this is usually on my other belt, I've got a handy dandy little remote here. So keep an eye on the blue car down there. Don't let the big ugly guy, he's going to get bit later. This is Goffstown Police Dog's canine Cyrus. Cyrus is from Slovakia. Okay? He is trained in all facets of police work, patrol work, detection work, which he's a narcotics detection dog, and he's also trained to track people. So if someone gets lost, we can go find them. If someone takes something or does something bad and they run, we can go find them. They're trained in evidence detection, which means they can find pieces of evidence in areas that we can't. They're also trained in searching for people in buildings where it might not be safe for a police officer to go. They do a lot of different things that we couldn't do without them. The main thing that we have to make sure that our dog is good at all times, okay, in order for us to be successful in our job, in order for us to have the peace of mind that our dog is in control so we can address things properly, is called obedience. Obedience is the most important aspect of our job. Any of the kids here know what obedience means? What does obedience mean? Do what you're supposed to do. I heard a bunch of parents say no and shake their head. Okay? Obedience is very important. If I tell my dog to lay down right there, and I only told them once, and I told them about almost 2 minutes ago now, I should be able to do whatever I need to do to talk to people, walk into a crowd, okay? And I should be able to address anyone. I can go to this gentleman here and talk, and he's supposed to be watching me. Now he's a little wound up, and Nick helped me out there. Sit. But, okay? He's a little concerned with Nick because we train a lot with Nick, and so if he's looking at Nick, he thinks something's gonna happen.
He wants to eat me. Way too much time doing that.
So, we're going to show you a little bit of obedience, okay? Now, if I'm working, all right, and maybe in police work, we're going to sneak up on a bad guy. Can I tell my dog what to do if we're going to sneak up on a bad guy? What do I have to do? We have our own form of sign language, okay, where I can tell him what to do without actually talking to him. All I got to do is get him to look at me. And he'll do what I need him to do. So if we're sneaking around, and I want to hide behind this cone to take cover, I can tell him what to do, okay? And their job is to pay attention to me wherever I go.
Draw your guys' attention to. You notice how I left my dog in that down position it is right there. That's that same obedience control that Officer Reach was referring to. When he brought Cyrus out, you guys all see dogs. Usually they run to check each other out and see what's going on and say hi. Cyrus comes out, checks us out, and then goes directly over to Chris. That's where he needs to be. My dog stays right there. That's the amount of control that we try to put into these dogs. If me and him are working on a call together, and my dog's working this side, his dog's working this side, we can't have it so that they're confronting with each other and getting aggressive towards each other. So they're not dog aggressive, and we really try to get the control factor in to keep them in their position here. So I thought that was a good example when Cyrus came out and Vando stayed right there.
So we're going to show you what we call agility, all right? There's lots of different kinds of agility. We have a very specific kind of agility that we use in police force. How many people have seen agility on TV or have other dogs doing sporting agility? You see them running through those weed holes really fast. You seen that? I've seen that. That makes me dizzy just watching it. We have to know that our dog is going to be able to overcome things that we encounter in our environment when we're a police officer. The best thing about dogs is they are pretty resilient. If you show them something once, let them know it's okay to do it, then they'll be fine from then on. But if they get in a situation where they're surprised and they've never seen it before, they may have a hard time overcoming it. So we try and get them to do as many different things in training so there's no surprises when we're working in the real world. So what we've got is a series of hurdles, and you notice each one of them is different. Okay? One of them's a chain link fence. One of them is supposed to look like brick. We've got mingling fences. We've got white wall fences. We've got a window, because we might need our dog to jump through a window. And then we've got a tunnel here, because the dog might have to get in a confined space. Dogs don't like tight spaces. There's probably a lot of people out there like that as well. We've got this tunnel, and we train our dogs to go through it. As long as we let them know it's okay, they've got no problem. So we're going to see a little bit of agility here.
Hip! 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 Go!
Notice that whenever Officer Hodgson calls his dog to him, where's he go?
Heel.
He goes right by his left side and sits down. How many computer people do we have here? Default trust. No matter what happens, when we call our dogs, they go to that position.
Down.
That is where everything begins and ends.
Stay.
That position. So if we call our dogs from anywhere, we know where they're going to come to.
Heel.
Now, wherever we go,
Hip! 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 Heel!
wherever we go, we have a lot of things we need to pay attention to. We don't want to worry about our dog. So we've trained our dog to heel by our side. No matter how we walk, where we walk, or whatever pace we walk, we can run, we can creep, slow, whatever, they're going to stay by our side. Officer Hodgson is going to call what I'll show you what we call a heeling phase.
Out.
And he's going to walk around, working to this type of thing, and you're going to watch that dog stick to his side wherever he goes.
Yep.
talk to somebody, I don't always want my dog right next to the person I'm going to talk to, because you don't know how they're going to react. So you might want to create some distance. So I can take my dog down and stay as I'm walking, and then get closer and talk to the person.
This is Panto's favorite toy. Everything that he does, same as K9 Cyrus, they want to get this ball at the end. He's got balls around, watch him, he's been crawling. You guys think he's done a pretty good job? Yeah. You guys want to see him get his reward? Yeah. All right. Yeah.
Police officers have their sidearms, they have extra bullets, they have handcuffs, K9 handlers, we all have one of these in our pocket. Makes life easy. These dogs, if you train them right, they're very excited and do everything for this. Just be careful where this goes. Don't throw it someplace where you're going to knock everything down. This happens once. Okay. Is that it? Do you guys think that's enough? Do you want to see anything else? What else do you want to see? What's Cyrus? Oh, it's Cyrus. What else do police dogs do? They catch bad guys. That's right. It just so happens we have one of those. So, one of the dog's jobs is to protect the handler. We're going to show you that. Now, why do we have dogs go up and bite people? Yes, ma'am. Exactly, they might get away. The reason I have a dog so he can go bite people is I'm incredibly slow. Okay? Therefore, I got him. He can go on when I can walk up there and my face and get him. Okay? Dogs, we use them to assist us. Dogs aren't trained to hurt people. They're trained to bite them and hold them in one spot. Not bite all over the place, not cause undue injury. They're trained to bite and hold a suspect that might be dangerous to us to approach, and also someone that's fleeing, that's done something very bad, but we don't want them to get away. So this is Officer Babcock. He's nice enough to help us out. He's got a full suit on. Cyrus is not paying much attention to anything I'm saying right now. Okay? We're going to show you some quick bites. Notice that Cyrus is going to get a hold of him, and he's not really going to do much harm to him.
You guys notice that, yes, he's not listening to Officer Weeks about what he's saying, because he's focused on this potential threat that's off to the side. And that's what we're going for with this whole handle protection and this biting on command type of thing. They're not vicious dogs. As you guys can see, when we're done this, you guys are going to be able to come up, pet their heads, and pay attention to them. They're not going to be looking to bite everybody. They don't get a real sensation out of it. It's just something that we ask them to do. So when the potential bad guy comes up, Cyrus is going to start focusing on paying attention to him. However, he's still under control. He's not running down there, he's not jumping. As you can see, Officer Weeks was still holding a very loose leash and keeping him off to the side when our bad guy in our bad guy suit came up.
All right, you guys ready?
Yeah. Haley.
Now, while he's biting them, I'm going to let you know that a dog's bite pressure is rated anywhere 800 to 1,200 pounds per square inch. That's why we have the suit. Right. Like I said, their job is to protect us. You know, this is Goffstown, it's not New York City, so we don't always have somebody working with us or with us, you know, when we're encountering a bad guy. We like to support each other, but sometimes we might be by ourselves. So if I'm by myself, I've got this big bad guy here, and I'm trying to arrest him, I gotta search him. If he tries to do something silly, Cyrus is going to take care of it for me. Good. just like Phantom, Cyrus gets to play with the ball. Now, do they always bite in the arm? No, that's why we have a suit on. They like to bite in the arm because it's easier to get their mouth around. But if you kicks it, you can get a hold of him there. He likes that too. Okay. Thank you, sir. Give a round of applause. Now, our dogs are also trained for narcotics detection. Okay? They're trained to find any bad drugs that might be brought into schools, businesses, homes, anywhere, cars. What we're going to do is Banto is going to come out and he's going to show you that. I'm going to go get 3 bags, okay? There's only illegal drugs in one of them, and you're going to show how the dogs sniff them, and then they give an alert to let us know they're there. So, does anyone have any questions? We're going to answer questions at the end. Does anyone have anything? Can't wait till the end. Okay. Going?
I wonder where he was going with that. That's in no crap.
There's a lull in the system here where we don't like that. Both Fanto and Cyrus are trained to detect drugs. We have another dog, Kel, at this police department. Kel is handled by Officer Barber. Some of you may know him. He also does all the same things that we do here. It's a very good team. And they're everything that you saw here today. Did you introduce them?
Stay. All right, so in one of these bags here, we placed a little bit of illegal narcotics. And being a canine, he's also cross-trained in the detection of narcotics. If me as a handler is at a scene with 3 bags and I know that they put drugs somewhere, I'm no longer using them to help me detect those drugs. I can't smell them, I have no idea. You guys are going to see how fast I'm going to be able to pick up the scent. He is trained as a tactical dog. So once he finds the scent of the illegal narcotics, he's going to start sniffing them, and then he's hopefully going to come to a good sit position. I know when my dog is sitting next to an object or next to a bag, there's a reason. It's because there's narcotics in that bag. I can then apply for a search warrant, or I move on the search process, however it ends up going.
All right. Alright, do we have any questions at this time? We're going to split up and answer questions. And after we answer questions, I'll get Cyrus out, he'll have Fanto out, you guys can come and once we're done answering questions, we can break up and you guys can come and pet the dogs and talk to us if you like to. Do you have any questions? Thousands of years in Europe, and it's consistency. We don't buy dogs until they're a year old for the most part. We don't have time to deal with puppies. So if we don't deal with puppies, we want to get a proven product. And they deal with so many dogs overseas, and the breeding for working lines, there's a distinct difference between working lines and show lines. The breeding for working lines has got a big history with it overseas, and the dogs have been more consistent. And there's health guarantees and training guarantees. And so if our dog is not making it health-wise or has a physical ailment that is genetic, we can return that dog and get another one. And there just aren't enough vendors in the United States with US bred dogs that have that flexibility. Any other questions? Yes, ma'am.
How do you get into being a canine handler? You have to be a police officer first?
You have to be a police officer first, and in general, you have to be off probation and, you know, been a police officer for several years, and then it's an application process and an oral board and things like that that, you know, you have to be proven as a worthy candidate.
Is there like a big waiting list for that kind of position within the force? Or?
Not in this particular force because there's not very many of us.
Right.
So very seldom the openings come up.
Yeah.
But in other departments that are larger, I know there's like a waiting list for that type of thing. Yes, ma'am.
I have another question. I got two puppies.
Anybody else got a question on this side? I can start splitting them up a little bit. To an extent. There's some states that have a specific law designed for police canines, and if you assault or injure a police canine, that's an enhanced penalty. The state of New Hampshire doesn't necessarily have that. However, I guarantee you if you assault or hurt my canine, you're going to get extra charges of animal cruelty, and we're going to make sure we go to the full extent of the law. So, in my mind as an officer, we have badge numbers here in Hillsborough Police Department, and he has badge number 441, and it goes right up down the line from there. Yes, sir.
You're walking through the airport, and a guy comes up to pet the dogs, and the dog sniffs something on the gentleman. Can you move on that, or you got to tell the dog you're not on duty right now?
Per policy, we don't have any sniff people up here in New Hampshire. There is canines that do that. However, per policy, because of liability purposes and whatnot, we don't sniff people necessarily.
Do it on his own, so,
he might start showing me a little bit of indication that there's some odor in the air, and depending on the situation, I may act on that, I may not. But I've never brought him up to a crowd of people and said, check here, check here.
On his own, what if he did it?
I don't know if he would necessarily. Just because they're conditioned by their responses. I give him a command to see drugs, and I point here, and he knows what that means.
So without the command, he may not look for it.
Exactly. So we ask these dogs to do a myriad of different things. So at one point, they're just like, okay, what do you want? Do you want anything? And they get very, very conditioned. I can take him out of the car to go to the bathroom, put him on his leash, walk him down the trail, and I can take him out of the car to do a call where I know I'm going to be tracking somebody. I open the door and put his leash on in the same manner every time. I guarantee you if it's a call, he jumps up over my shoulder and I got to grab him. Whereas if it's just to get out because they can feel that, they're conditioned to that, and it's the same thing with narcotics a little bit. You've got to get them in a mode. You saw I settled them and then go, and then we check from there. So I don't know if he necessarily would. If he did, then I would probably ask the guy, hey, what's in your pocket?
Yeah, what's going on down there?
Yeah. All right. What's the All right. Well, the majority of the... You want to pet the doggy? Okay, you got to give me your cookie, though. I'll hold your cookie. Why don't you go up and ask me? Over here. Come on.
I remember that one, Allison. That one likes chips.
I prefer this one. Grabbing the herd, that's just a preference.